Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Let's go ahead and do some more math. So, we've been doing a little bit of statistics, and we're going to keep going in this flow. I noticed that they have some things what's called scatter plots, and anyone that's thinking about taking the TEAS test. Also, they may have one or two questions like this on the GED as well as the ASVAB. So, if you are also thinking about taking any of those assessments, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, the GED, or maybe even the TEAS test, I am starting a course. It's actually starting on Monday. Yes. So I'm going to keep it open until roughly the 21st because I don't want to get too far ahead. It's a 12-week course, and we can actually break everything down from fractions to decimals all the way up to factoring and looking at system of equations, especially a lot of those 4-point questions. So you can pass the exams and be the person you want to be. Let's do it. All right. So what we're working on today, so we did a little bit of data analysis last time. We looked at circle graphs, looking at line graphs, look at all those different types. Now we're going back, almost a little bit back with a little pre-algebra. So we're going into scatter plots. So let me slide this shiznit over and zoom on in. All right, so with scatter plots, we're basically showing the relationship between two data sets or data sets. So we're looking at the comparison of X and Y. So it could be the number of hours you work depending on how much money you make. Okay, so depending on how many hours you work out for will depend on how much weight that you lose. So there's always some kind of correlation. So we're basically looking at how one variable is affecting the other variable. Okay, so it could be a positive, it could be a negative effect, it could probably have like no correlation whatsoever. So no matter what, there's always going to be something happening. All right, so hello and good evening. Hello, Aaron. Hello. Hey, Danny. How are you, Antonia? How are you? Let me see. I think I probably skipped a couple people. And I probably did. All right. Well, thanks for checking in, everyone. Let's go. Make sure you have what you need to have. We're going to kind of dibble and dabble a little bit. Are we going to get on full-fledged with the whole statistic and everything? Not so much. But we are going to take it to the next step, which is the line of best fit. So you can kind of help figure out roughly what is the trend, because they also call it trend lines. All right. There was another name for it as well. It's all kinds of out and about. All right. So when we're looking at the relationships, the relationship is called a correlation. So the correlation actually has its own coefficient, and it's the letter R, lowercase r. Okay, uppercase R, we're looking at real numbers, but lowercase r is the coefficient for the correlation. So the coefficient, that will tell you the strength, and I think some people know it as Pearson's, but the correlation itself will tell you the strength and the direction of that relationship. Let's take a look at some of our famous people, shall we? Let's take a little look. I don't know about some of you guys are into 90 Day Fiance. If you are, you look at a lot of those people that travel abroad, fall in love, then they get married, then they get 90 days. And then there's some of them you're like, oh, I can see it. They're so beautiful together. Oh, they're so cute. And some of them you're like, say what? What are we doing, right? Why are you doing this? So we're looking at some of the different correlations. So we can go from our ranging, I should say, from a -1 to a 1. So a -1, that is a perfect negative correlation, right? Perfect negative correlation. That means as your x's are increasing, your y's are decreasing, and it forms a perfect straight line. No fraying of points all over the place, right? We're just looking at that perfect straight line. Hey, Robert. Welcome into the shenanigans, okay? It's a nice low day. Here we go. So then we have our perfect positive, okay? Perfect positive, again, as my x's are increasing, my y's are also increasing. So the amount of hours that I'm working, then the amount of money I'm making is going to be beautiful, right? Nice to get one of those nice, big, thick, perfect paychecks, right? Then you got your zero, where there's like no correlation whatsoever. It's going to be like the color of my hair is going to help start my car. Like, no, like no correlation whatsoever. So let me show you roughly. Hey, Janice. Okay. Nickel, we are working on scatter plots and correlation and soon to be lines of best fit. All right. Yes, those checks need a hit, right? Okay. So anyone, we have a special guest in here. Okay. So before I get into dabbling, remember every time you guys always want to ask me like, Audrey, when are we going to do statistics? Or, hey, can you find, this? And you're always asking me all this calculus stuff. And I'm always saying, you know what, guys, if you're serious about it and you need help, I got a guy. Well, guess what? I got a guy. I finally got him on TikTok. Yes! So for those, who's in here as Robert, the AP math guy. All right, so follow him so we can get him live and he can teach you all those fun tricks and tips for AP, Calc AB or BC, or maybe even this AP pre-calculus that's going around. Yeah, that's crazy. And then also AP statistics. He's the guy, all right? So definitely follow him, welcome him. He's going to get some more videos out. We just got him on today, but yay. All right. So let's take a quick look at the different types of scatter plots. So for this one right here, let me zoom. Okay. So for this one, I noticed that the points are not in a direct line, but if I follow the trend, as my x's are increasing, it looks like even though it's kind of staggered, but my y's are kind of having this increasing trend as well. All right, so not a problem. So this is what I like to call, not just me, because I did not invent math. This is what's called a positive. Okay, a positive correlation. Oops. So with the positive correlation, the easiest way to remember this is as my x's are increasing, so are my y's. Okay, both my x's and y's are increasing. It's a nice little pattern. We're going to talk about a trend line as soon as I introduce you to all the different correlations. All right. Hey, C4, thank you so much. Yep, incline, increasing. Check and check. Now, for this one, then we have what type of correlation? If you could take a guess, what would this correlation be? Go ahead, put it in the chat. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, I want to say Ural, C4, Danny, Antonia, it's Decreasy Pog. Hey Pog, how are you? Yes. Okay, so we do have a negative correlation. I'm going to talk about the strengths of them later. I know some people are like, well, Audrey, you should really talk about, yeah. Come on. Easy does it. All right. So positive to negative. Yes. So as my x's are increasing, all right. So as my x's are increasing, my y's are kind of going on a decreasing trend. All right. It's not tight-lipped, but I can see the trend. All right. Okay. So here we go. Boom. What's going on with this third one? So as one increases, the other decreases. So as my x's are increasing in value, my y's are going in downward slope or decreasing. Okay, it is scattered. This one, all over the place. Okay, it's almost like me. I put my hair in a bun when I go to bed. Then when I wake up, yeah, what happened? What was I dreaming about, right? Hair piece over here. The headband is across the room. I don't know what's going on, right? So this is like all over the place. So this will be considered no correlation. Okay, we don't have any patterns. We don't know what's going on. It's like that meme. It's like, we had a time last night. We had a time last night. Woo! Hope there was no video. Okay. Well, hello. How are you? All right. So these are basically the three different correlations. So now what I'm going to talk to you more about is the strength that goes behind it. All right. So if I may slide, okay, right here, take a look at it. I can easily draw, if I wanted to, a perfectly straight line through all those points. Notice I said the word perfect. All right. So this is one of those perfect strengths. And since my x's are increasing, as well as my y's, this is what's considered a perfect positive correlation. Okay. So not only I'm telling you the strength, so basically if this was any kind of, I'm going to pretend, say that I worked all these hours, that's my X, and my money, no one was playing with my time whatsoever, is exactly what I was supposed to get. It's linear, it's beautiful. This is like one of the perfect payrolls that you can possibly get. Okay. All right. Good. So now, if we take a look at the next one, this is a positive correlation. But this is not going to be perfect. Because if I set it on a range between -1 and 1, 1 is perfect. Okay, that's very perfect. But it's also showing me a positive. But it's showing me a strong. This is my strong hand. This is showing me a strong positive correlation. Because I can see that it's increasing. As my x's are increasing, my y's are also increasing. And I can, if I wanted to, draw a trend line that's going to go through most of the points. So I can kind of get some kind of correlation right here. All right. Oops, forgot about the word correlation. So if this is a strong positive correlation, what do you think this is? Hey, Reed, how are you? Thank you for a little heart. Love it. Thanks for sharing, Jessica. Medium? All right. Medium. You know? Okay, so no strong correlation. What's another way that we can say that? You're right on there. There you go, Stanford. Thank you. Stanford saying weak. I'm okay. Good. Weak. So there's something there. Like if I really take a look at it, I probably could finagle a positive correlation out of here. But it is not as zoink, tightly kept as the strong positive, and it's nowhere near the perfect. All right? So it's almost like me before coffee. I can function because I got out of bed, I went to the bathroom, got myself together, I have clothes, my bra is where it's supposed to be, not outside my clothes, but underneath. But I need some coffee without like trying to hurt somebody, right? So this is weak. Okay, so it's going to be that weak correlation, weak positive correlation. I'm just going to say weak correlation because I'm getting lazy. All right. So sometimes they'll give you a coefficient. Now, there's a way that you can calculate the R, but here's my thing. If you want that, you're going to have to pay for my tutoring service, all right? Because that's a nice little handful. Is it possible? Yes. Can you find it using your graphing calculator? Yes. But we are not really going to focus too much on that. Because for the exams that you guys are focusing on, which is your GED, your ASVAB, your Accuplacer, okay, even the TEAS test, they're just going to say, is this a correlation? Is it not a correlation? Is it a positive correlation or a negative correlation? Is it strong? Is it weak? Is it perfect? So if we can get this down, and if you want to do a little more advanced stuff, hey, go ahead and sign up. We'll do a little tutoring session. We'll hammer those bad boys out. Okay? All right. So now, when it comes to, I'm going to see if I can unzoom and get everything in here. When it comes to the different types of correlations and their strengths, we can actually, like I said, pull as much as we can by drawing what's called a line of best fit. So your line of best fit is a straight line that is representing, the data of your scatter plot. So like if I wanted to, let's see if I can find my ruler, all this patty paper. So if I wanted to, let me take a look at our first one. I can try to draw a line through majority of the points. But if we can get a good solid 2, that will be awesome as well. Let me grab my pencil. So for me, I can draw a line. Maybe I should angle it a little bit better, considering I'm drawing on the tape that I put on there. Okay. But drawing that trend line, it's almost like, how do we know certain words and phrases? Like when you do the SEO, if you're doing into your websites, or if you're trying to build a business and you're like, okay, what are those keywords, or what are those words and phrases that people are looking up when they're trying to buy a vacuum cleaner? You know, what are those words and phrases? So they're looking at trends. So they want to get just around, I want to say like around like it passes through majority of the points. It's not going to pass through all of them. It just kind of gives you a good idea of what's happening with the data. So another one will be this one. If I try to go through, I try to go through most of the points, but at the same time, I really just want to go through 2 if I can. All right. Because the reason why I want to go through at least 2 is that means I can find the slope. Because remember, slope is the change of y over change of x. All right. So by looking at our slope, we can kind of figure out what the trend is going to be. So now I can see it. As my x's are increasing, my y's are decreasing. And then you can try to draw a line through this, but it's all hibbity-bobbity. You have no idea what's going on. All right? So it's going to be hard to find a trend line. It's like, okay, is it over there? Is it over here? Or is it going downwards? We have no idea. But here, we can get that perfect line going straight through. How much you want to bet I miss all these points? Ready? Oh, I didn't. Okay. I'm getting better with my line drawing expertise. Okay? So we're going through majority of the points there. Here, we can actually draw through maybe a couple of these. And then this one is going to be a little challenging because it's such a weak correlation. Like, do I go over here? Do I come here? Do I just draw and not hit any of the points? That's when it gets all kinds of cray-cray. Okay? All right. So now, I found a couple practice sheets, which you guys probably seen before, but we're going to give it a try. All right? That's me trying to be all kinds of crazy. So all we're basically doing, let's see if I can put it in here. Do we get all 4? Nope. Let's see if I can get all 4 graphs in there. Okay. I think this will work. All right, here we go. There is a negative correlation between the number of hours a student watches television, and his or her social studies test scores. Okay, which scatter plot below displays the correlation? All right, taking a look. First thing, I know everyone's like, I don't know, it's a word problem. Pause. First thing that they're telling us, we have a negative correlation. We know what the negative correlation, as your x's are increasing, your y's are decreasing. Which one is kind of giving us? So Pog is saying the last one. Do we agree? Okay, Antonia is saying the bottom. Okay, so we got a couple. Last one was the read. Okay, so it seems like there's 3 people. Okay, I get one more. And if you're like, I'm not sure, remember, question marks are also answers as well. Okay, C4 is telling me last one. Hey, sign X here. Yes, gotta talk to you soon. Bottom, yes. Okay, so if we're looking at this last one right here, this one, all over the place. This one, as my x's are increasing, looks like my y's are increasing as well. All right, and this one looks kind of like a little horizontal. All right, let me shift. All right, so which scatter plot shows the relationship between x and y if x represents a student score on a test and y represents the number of incorrect answers a student received on the same test? So which one is showing me a relationship? Which ones? Bottom is scattered. Middle is a strong correlation. Okay. So we're saying the second one. Can't see the last one. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank y'all. Okay. Zarzi saying B. Is it Yuli? Or Yuli? If I'm not saying your name correctly, please correct me. Okay. Monica, hello, Monica, saying B. Okay. Janice is saying the last one. Okay. All right, so this time we're looking for a relationship. Okay, we're saying B. Carol saying B. Read question mark. Okay, thank you for your honesty. Or the third one, Janice. Okay, C4 saying the third one. Pog saying the third one. All right, so it seems like there's a battle. I'm stuck between. Okay. All right, so there's like a battle. So it looks like there's something happening with these two. All right. So if we're saying which scatter plot shows a relationship between X and Y, so the X is the student's test scores, okay, and the Y is the number of incorrect answers. So for this first one, it seems like the points are pretty much scattered around. So it's hard for me to figure out a trend. Is it positive? Is it negative? So we know we can eliminate that one. Then this last one, you're basically saying, okay, everyone's test score was the same and they had the same numbers. So that's not really giving me a correlation. So it's in between these two. Okay, so it's in between these two. But let's see which one makes sense. So as the test scores increase, okay, that's what's happening for both of these. As the test scores increase, this one is saying the number of incorrect answers are decreasing. For this one, they're saying as the test scores increase, the number of incorrect answers is increasing. Which one makes sense? Okay, so we got Vicky with 2. We got Morgan with 2. All right, Antonia 2. Morgan with 1. All right, Morgan, what's going on? Mary with 2. Okay, Vicky with 2. All right, the third one, the 2, you mean 1. Okay. All right. So when you're taking your test scores, think about it. If you got a 97, does that mean the numbers of the incorrect answers are increasing? Okay. All right. No. Okay. So this is why. Sometimes these word problems, you're thinking like, what? It's got to be that. So think about it. As your test scores are increasing, sometimes put a test score in there. So like if I got a 90, that means the number of correct answers increased, but not the number of incorrect answers. The number of incorrect answers should be going down as the grade is going up. This is our answer. Okay. The better you score, the less number of incorrect answers. There you go, Monica. Thank you. All right. Okay, that makes sense. All right, you knew it. All right. The second guessing myself. I know. Stop second guessing. And I know because a lot of people, when you see a word problem, you're going to be like, I don't want to do it. All right, so let me chuck that to the side. And let me see if I can zoom into this one for number 3. Or maybe not that much. All right. So for number 3, a line of best fit has been drawn on the scatter plot below. Ta-da! Okay, the relationship between these variables can be described as having a negative correlation, no correlation, a positive correlation, or 0 correlation. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or C. Okay. All right. Good. Marissa, you're funny. Did you? All right. Fast Horse, how are you? Good. All right. So good. We have C. We have positive. Number 3. Number 3. We have C. Pause. Yes. Number 3. Good. Okay. So you see how quickly you answered that question? All right. So when it comes to these assessments, I'm going to keep saying it until you guys pass every assessment. All right. When you spend less time on these, you see it. Oh, it's a positive. You read the whole thing. You got it. Boom. It's number 3. You click it, you circle it, you bubble it, and then you move on to the next one. So think about it. Most exams will give you roughly a minute and 45 seconds. GED, that will give you roughly 2 minutes and 10 seconds per problem. If you sit down one day, I'm not going to do it tonight, but if you sit down one day and you time yourself, what does 2 minutes and 10 seconds feel like? You're going to be like, this is like an eternity, instead of worrying about the timer, okay? You got plenty of time. And if you answer questions like we did that other one, you're going to take that extra time to put it into harder problems. Yeah, there you go. Test-taking strategy. All right. So now, what's the relationship between the independent and dependent variable? Let's get the answer for this first, and then I'm going to extend on this problem. So is it 1, undefined correlation, 2, negative correlation, 3, positive correlation, or 4, no correlation? So my black dot says a positive correlation. Okay, Antonia is saying number 1. Okay, number 3, positive correlation. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the live. Okay, Reed saying 3, Fast Horse saying 1. Okay, positive correlation. The regression line. Yep, you can. You can use the regression line, aka the trend line, aka the line of best fit. Okay. Oh, this is a name I haven't seen in a long time. Celion, how are you? All right. Janice is saying 1. So let's take a look. Just because, remember what we did earlier, just because they're not perfect doesn't mean it's not a correlation. Okay, we can still kind of see a correlation. As my number of hours are increasing, I'm starting to see a trend kind of increasing as well. So like if I wanted to, I could, it's not perfect, but I could probably draw like a line through most of these. But I can see my trend is going on increasing, the positive, yes. Positive, yes, there you go, Antonia. There you go. All right, so if I can draw a positive from left to right, it's increasing. So we are going to have a positive correlation. It's not perfect, but it can be. I would say this is like a relatively strong correlation. So they're saying the hours of sleep, the more hours of sleep you get, the higher your test score. All right. Okay, good. Now, here's something I want to do a little extension. Oh, hello, Valencia. What's an independent? They mentioned this early on. They talked about independent and dependent variables. What represents your independent variables? Just want to make sure we got terminology down. I know it's tough to like type it all out, but like, or maybe like what would represent my independent? Okay, good. C4 is saying my XY. Pog is saying my X, my XY. Okay. Which one's which? So the independent's the X and the dependent's the Y? Okay, Y depends on the X. There you go, Pog. Thank you. Okay. Janice, thank you for your honesty. All right? Because these are the little things, the little tidbits that they'll add on to a lot of these things. So, independent basically goes with your X values. So this will be your independent variable. Your independent, think about it. Independent woman. INDEP. Yeah, the whole thing. Got my own house. Got my own car. All that. You're a bad broad. Okay? So, in this case, your independent stands alone. So it's almost like if I stood here and I did what some TikTokers like, say the one person that will just watch someone sleeping. I don't know. It's crazy. But no matter what, that person was sleeping, but time kept going. Time stops for no one. Majority of your independence is always going to deal with time. Okay, so hours of sleep. Your test scores, that's your dependent. Think about your kids. Around text time, we call them dependents. During the time, any other time, you're just like the person that keeps eating everything during the summer when summer has only officially started in our household a day ago. Yeah, that person. Okay, but during tax time, we're counting them as dependents. Okay, so they depend on your independent. Okay, so your Y's always depends on your X's. Okay. All right. Good. Yes. So Y equals f of x. Yes. The function of x. Thank you. All right. So as long as we understand your independent variable is always like your x. Your dependence is basically your title of your Y's. All right. Hello, Bran. How are you? All right, so now let's see what we got for this one. Okay. Abraham, how are you? Not a problem. So the scatter plot below represents the relationship between the number of peanuts a student eats and the student's bowling score. In summer school? Aw. But how's it going? Just get it done. Just buckle down and get it done. Do you have to go 5 days or 4 days? Exactly, Danny. Exactly. What? Exactly. Okay. I know, right? Exactly. But here's the thing. Knowing how insane it sounds, now you can actually go into, so what conclusion about the scatter plot is valid? Okay, there is almost no relationship between eating peanuts and bowling scores. Students who eat more peanuts have higher bowling scores. Students who eat more peanuts have lower bowling scores. No bowlers eat peanuts. Good luck finding a correlation. Okay, it was 8:30. Ugh! 20 days? Okay. But man, that's a long day, Bran. Ugh. Can't deal with that. Yes. So you know how insane this sounds, right? Eating peanuts and bowling scores. Right away, I would skim through to see where the one that says no relation. And then I would read the whole thing to make sure it makes sense. Which answer 1 is going to be our answer. Good. Good job. Nice live. There you go, Day. Groovy Jean. Nice. Good. Good job, Reed. Yes. So I'm hoping that you guys are feeling confident, not just with scatter plots, but just also when it comes to problems. Okay, when it comes to problems like these. Okay. All right. Scatter plot showing what kind of correlation. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Is it no correlation, positive correlation, negative correlation, or undefined correlation? So you can do AP. Okay. That's smart. Good job, Brand. Years ago, you couldn't take summer classes for advancement. I guess they finally decided to change that. Okay, good. I'm seeing 2s. I'm seeing Groovy D, Day, Matthew, Abram, Reed, Fast Horse. Definitely positive correlation. Good job, guys. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can pick it up a little bit. Because there's a couple. Yeah, these are the last 4. Let's try number 9. I want to skip a little bit because I want to show you. Let me show you something a little bit later. Then with the diploma, it'll be recognized. Okay, good. Everywhere in the world. Awesome. That's good. Yeah, because they're also, I'm not sure if my friend Robert's in here. We were talking about the AP pre-calc. And a lot of people put their kids in there and it's not recognized for college. So you got a lot of people taking an AP class and it's not being recognized. Yep. All the data trending up for number 9. Okay. So which statement is true about the data shown in the scatter plot below? Okay, there's no correlation between the 2 sets of data. There's a positive correlation between the 2 sets of data. There's a negative correlation between the 2 sets of data. The correlation between the data is both positive and negative. Okay, Smith, how are you? We're trending down. Good. That's what it is. Erase the question marks. Isn't this like algebra? It is algebra. Let's start at Y. Okay. So we're looking at negative, the anti-riz. All right. The statistics. Is statistics mixed in with algebra 1? I know. It's crazy. It's a mixture of math. All right. Nice. So, taking a look, as your X values are increasing, it looks like there's a nice little trend, even though it looks like a tail. A nice little trend that's going down with the Y's. So, as my X's are increasing, so that means we don't have positive. We don't have no correlation because we can see a trend. And we can't have it both positive and negative, okay? This doesn't make sense. Answer choice is going to be 3, okay? Spanish, okay? Are you doing IB? Awesome. Okay, so it'll be 3. So it's not both positive and negative. It's got to be one or the other. Okay. We start at Y. So it's almost like if I could draw a line through majority of the points, probably could have drawn a little bit better. This purple line is like my trend line. And it looks like as my X's are increasing, my Y's are going to be decreasing. Yes, just like we just said earlier, you were trending down. Okay. Any tips for geometry? Keep an open mind and remember you got to prove everything. Okay? So don't say, oh, it looks like a rectangle. Nope, you got to prove it. All right. And then try to keep an idea about a listing of all your postulates and theorems. What if we had a parabola? Is that a standard deviation? That will give us like a standard deviation. Yep. That's coming up. But I know most of those you will actually see with statistics. This part, especially for GED, Accuplacer, ASVAB, TEAS test, they're just basically like, hey, we're just looking at it. Is it positive? Is it negative? And if they start giving you some of the R's, that will take it up a little bit more. Okay. All right, no problem. You have to work on this. Yes, IB has especially a different language. That's what it is. But don't be scared. You're not expected to pass it as soon as you walk into the classroom. It's a teacher's kind of job to kind of break the stuff to you. Okay? I got faith. You got it. All right? So, positive correlation always exists on a scatter plot when, 1, where the y remains unchanged as x increases, 2, y changes randomly as x increases, 3, y decreases as x increases, or 4, y increases as x increases. So, positive correlation. So, I'm seeing 2, my question mark saying 4, Pog saying 4, China saying 4. Oh, sorry, skipped. 91790 point, all of that. Saying 4. Okay, China's saying, I don't know. Okay, we're going to take a look. So Fast Horse saying 4. Brand saying 4. Okay. Positive correlation. So this is the part that you missed, China, for a little bit. We were kind of talking about this earlier. So, with the positive correlation, as my x's are increasing, so are my y's. It's not a perfect correlation, but I can see that the trend is going upward. Okay? Guessing. Right? So because y is positive and your x is going to be positive. So as my x's are increasing all the way to positive infinity, my y values are also increasing all the way to positive infinity, and my points are going up from left to right. Any charts until now? Yes. Well, I just showed this up. Positive correlation is another way of saying x and y are proportional, I think. Yep. So that means we're looking at when my x's are increasing and my y's are increasing. So it will be 4. Yes, so it will be 4. All right. Yep. So positive correlation, both your x and y's are increasing. Negative correlation, your x's are increasing, but your y's are decreasing. Okay, you kind of figured that. Okay. So scatter plots can actually, some of them are linear, they can be exponential, they could be quadratic. Trust me, we're just used to seeing the linear scatter plots. Okay. Will this be in the notebook? This was going to be in notebook number 4 for Audrey's notes. Makes sense? Or outliers? Well, outliers, there is a way that you could have outliers. Like you could have all your points kind of like bunched together right here, and then you have another point like all the way up here. Okay? That will be your outlier. Okay. All right. Okay, so now the last one on this page. Repeat that again, Case. Add that note to the boot camp. We can, but it'll be like an additional cost for the Audrey's notes. Because those things, especially with all that color, it's expensive. Alright. It's okay? You sure? Because I'm trying to understand it. If you trend like mountain shove, one side to the other. I know, I have to get that. One for number 11. Okay, so which situation describes a negative correlation? The amount of gas left in the car's tank and the amount of gas used from it. The number of gallons of gas purchased and the amount paid for the gas. The size of the car's gas tank and the number of gallons it holds. The number of miles driven and the amount of gas used. Okay, so if we're looking for a negative correlation, that means we want our independent. Okay, so our independent in this case will be like your mileage. Okay, as that's increasing, our dependent is going to be decreasing. So we're saying the amount of gas left in the car's tank and the amount of gas used from the car. And a lot of you guys are saying either 1 or 4. The number of miles driven, okay, so the number of miles that's driven and the amount of gas used. I want to say 1. Hey, D-Mac, how are you? Because the number of miles driven, so that's increasing. And the amount, this is a good one. Hold on. So we all agree that it's not 2 and 3. Because the number of gallons of gas purchased and the amount paid for the gas. Okay. So the size of the tank, so the bigger the tank, the number of gallons it holds. So that's more positive. So the number of miles driven and the amount of gas used. The amount of gas left in the tank, so that's going down, and the amount of gas used from it. So that's increasing and decreasing. So that'll be negative. The number of miles driven, that's increasing. The amount of gas used. The amount of gas used. That's what it is. The amount of gas used. I think that's the kicker. So that means that number can also go up. So it is going to be 1. So they're saying the amount of gas. So the amount of gas that's used, not so much left in the tank. Okay. Are we thanking Jay the barber? Hello, Jay. All right. I thought you had it. That one, I mean, you see me sitting here like, I got to sit and think about this for a second. And it's because it said the amount of gas used. So that means that amount can keep going up. Like, I used 2 gallons. I used 3 gallons. I used 4 gallons. And I think that's the way they were thinking of it. So it is going to be the first one. Okay. All right. Yeah, had to think for a second. Okay. So the gas left in the tank, number 4. I said first. Okay. All right. Okay, so kind of doing a refresher. All right, that takes care of that. So I want to kind of look at these four, and then we're done. I didn't want to cut it for some reason. I don't know. Feeling all kinds of weird about stuff. Okay. All right. So we are going to look at 4 different scatter plots. Okay. So we're looking at 4 of them. And I want to know if it's a positive, a negative, or no correlation, as well as tell me if it's linear, because we were just talking about that, quadratic, or exponential. And you're probably like, okay, linear, I know, Audrey. Quadratic, though. Quadratic, that gives us a parabola. So, if I may, we got linear can give us a straight line. So that's linear, that's L. Quadratic, it gives us that U shape. Either it's going to open up like a cup, or it can open down like a frown. Okay, so that's quadratic. Then exponential. It's just like what happened with COVID. It started somewhere and then boom! Just exploded up and everybody was like infected, right? Or we can have a situation, maybe there was a downward fall. We can have it like this way. There's so many ways. Okay, this is more like exponential. So using this, and we can also have it like going this way. Oops. Okay, kind of gives you a little idea. All right. So step functions, not so much. All right, so taking a look at the first one. Oops. I almost erased you out for a second. Okay, taking a look at the first one. Positive, negative, or no correlation. Okay, positive, negative, or no correlation. Okay, so C4 with no correlation, Matthew no correlation, China no correlation, Brand no correlation, Pong no correlation. Okay, all over the place. Now I know everyone's trying to envision me getting up in the morning. You're welcome. Okay, so if there's no correlation, we can't say linear, quadratic, or exponential because there's no correlation. So I'm just going to say no. Number 2. Linear, positive, negative, or no correlation for number 2. There you go, Reed. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Okay. So C4 saying negative. Matthew saying linear, negative. China saying negative. Brand. Now, if you don't go ahead, it's all right. All right. Anyone else? We all agree? You think it's negative? Okay. Reed, you think it's negative? All right. What? Negative? Neg? Yes. We can say neg for negative. All right. So, as my x values are increasing, my y values look like they're decreasing. Okay, fast horse, neg. It's all right. It's all right. Right on. Okay. You all right? It's all right. It's all right. All right, so if I wanted to, let me change the color so you guys can see. Somewhat, unless it's partially dying. Well, I think it's almost time to retire the red. Okay? But I can have a linear trend line. Okay? If I angle it a little bit better, I could probably get through a little more of the points. So yes, this is going to be a negative correlation, or neg, but then it's going to be linear because I'm able to get a nice straight trend line. All right. Okay, 2 more and then we are done. Okay, so number 3, positive, negative, or no correlation. Yes, you have a question. What is your question? Okay, positive quad, positive quad, positive, positive quadratic. Reed saying positive. Shaylin saying positive. Welcome in. Renee, what's your question? Quad, okay. Do we always start with the Y's first? I like to start with the X's to take a look. Well, majority of my thing is the X's are always going to be increasing. Okay, that hasn't changed. But the action does play facts with the Y's. So like, what do I look at first? I mean, I could look at the Y's because my X's are always going to be increasing. Okay. Yeah, the Y's is like, I want to say, the star of the show. It's almost like when you have a family and it's always the kids, you always do stuff for the kids. Well, I guess. Not really. The kids are always the star of the show. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm reaching. It's late. But as I'm looking at it, my X's are increasing. My Y's are also increasing. Even though there's this one little one that's starting to make the turn, but it's making a turn, but it's telling me its shape. It's almost like if I could, it's giving me that upside down parabola. Okay? But as my X's are increasing, my Y's are increasing. So there is a positive, I'm going to put a plus sign because I'm getting lazy. There is a positive correlation. But because of the shape of it, that's giving me quadratic. Okay. I don't know. Matthew, I'm reaching. Roxy! Clean out your garage. Hey, not a problem. I was mowing lawns before I had all this. I love mowing the lawn at night where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's gonna cut tonight. I get confused where to begin. Okay. Start with closest to the y-axis and then try to find the flow. What's happening to these numbers? If I'm starting here close to the y-axis, what's happening as I keep following down? Okay, good. Exactly. Yes, good. It's trending down. So that means your Y values are going down. And like I said, our X are always going up. Okay, my X's are always increasing. So if it's going down, it will be what kind of correlation? So if it's trending down, what kind of correlation? Yep, it's curving. Good. It's going down. It's negative. Yeah, I think you should base it on the Y first. I think that might work for you. Yep, so base on the Y first. So as my Y's are decreasing, my X's are increasing. So it is going to be negative. So we got a negative correlation. Now, because of the shape of it, okay, it's not giving me a straight line or giving me something resembling it. It's giving me an exponential function. Okay, quadratics give me U-shapes. This is starting to pan out a little bit right down here at the end. If it was quadratic, it will go down to a point and then pop right back up. Okay, so it's not going to be quadratic. Does words mean? Negative correlation and exponential. The exponential is the type of graph that it is. And negative correlation is what's the Y doing while the X's are increasing. Okay. No, not tonight. That's it. I know. You're probably like, exponential? What is that? But we'll talk more about that next week. Well, not next week, but we'll slowly get into that one. Okay, on 3, what would you say the shape of the last point was if the last point was higher? If it was higher, that could be exponential. If it was kind of going this way and it was going up, yep, that could be more exponential. I know, tricky, right? It's tricky to rock around, All right. Yep. Oh, yeah, it could be log. Yep. As well. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that, just to kind of give you a quick little refresher, thank you, Pog, for the reminder. Down from negative. Yes, but right now the correlation is going up. The correlation is positive, William. Okay. But the shape is eventually going to be quadratic. Okay. Okay. So if I was looking at just quadratic, but I'm looking at the correlation. So the positive and negative deals with the correlation between the X and the Y's. But the shape of it will be your quadratic. Good? Yes? No? Think I'm a liar? I need reinforcement. All right. So, for those that are here, okay, again, all right, we got our scatter plots and its correlation. So the main thing, especially for that type of assessment, is to know the difference between positive, negative, and no correlation, okay? They don't get too deep with the whole, is it a strong, is it a weak? It was like very similar to the ones that we actually saw on some of these papers, okay? That basically, that is it. All right, so just hi, Space Cadet. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Oh my goodness, look at you. Stop. Yes. Are all weak correlations just graphs without the lines? Ooh, that's deep. Okay, good. All right. Weak correlations, just graphs without the lines. Ooh, elaborate. Now you got my spidey senses tingling. What we got? All right. So for those that know, okay, a couple of things. Now, one, if you want to join, you can still join. Too smart for you. Oh, stop, David. So if you still want to join in the math prep course that we're going to do, a live math prep course is going to be on Zoom. It's not going to be on TikTok, so we won't have any photo bombers and all that stuff. We still going to have that availability. It starts on Monday. We have basically two groups. We have either the Monday-Wednesday group, which will start at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or the Tuesday-Thursday group will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, will I still be going live? Yes. Will I be doing possibly a little bit harder stuff? Possibly. So if you know that you really want someone to walk you through step by step, hold your hand throughout the process of going from fractions all the way to factoring and system of equations, sign up for the course. Now, if you're just like, well, Audrey, how do I sign up for this blessed course that you're talking about? Well, let me show you. This blessed course that you're talking about. Well, let me show you. We're going on 0.2 because I know I did. All right, so if you go to my profile, hi, there I am. Then you want to click on my website, which is right underneath my name. You're going to be given this whole thing. You're about to open the link. Yes, we know. Go ahead and click it. Then it takes you straight to my website. All right. So, and if you're ever like thinking about, oh, I would like that website. How did she make it? I made it on Canva. Canva. That's it. All right, so after you scroll down for a little bit, then we come across this section that says, want to pass the GED, the ASVAB, the TEAS exam, register for the summer. It's going to start on June 9th. Click on Learn More. Then it takes you to another link. I know, you're probably like, so many links. It's okay. It's only 2. You'll be fine. All right, so it gives you a small introduction, but this is what I want you to see. What are you going to get? Okay, so we have live Zoom sessions twice a week. I know it's the summer. I'm only asking for 90 minutes of your time. You can go and party and just veg out as much as you want afterwards, okay? And we're doing it for 12 weeks. The reason why I'm doing it this long is so you're not feeling rushed. Anywhere, you can go anywhere and do this, and possibly for free. I know there's a lot of GED programs out there that you can do it for free. But guess what? You usually come to me. So there is a reason why you come to me. Because either it goes way too fast, you don't have someone to ask you questions, or you might be doing a self-paced course that's online and you're not really motivated to do it by yourself. We're going to have a small group. There's not going to be 40 people in the group. I'm keeping it small, like roughly like 10 people, okay? Then there's going to be times that you're going to have to go on vacation. Hey, do it. Whatever you do, I definitely have replays, okay? So just in case you need to miss, there's no excuse. The replay is going to be there, and you can always ask me a question. Now, for the short weekly practice, that means you're going to be having homework. Am I going to bombard you with a lot of homework? No, because we're adults and we need time to relax. But I am going to give you some test-taking strategies that you can take to do that process of elimination so you can get the score that you want. Real-time Q&A sessions, real-life examples, like the kiddos and the pools and all that stuff. We can actually get copies of my notes, just like how I did with the notes here. So you can get a copy of the notes that we have for that class. I'll just send it to your email, so you can have it with you. But the main thing is there's no pressure, there's no judgment. We're just breaking down content. And what I would love for you guys to do is by the end of this course, I want you to sign up for the GED. I want you to sign up for the AccuPlacer. I want you to sign up for the ASVAB. I want you to sign up for the TEAS test. And I think I heard recently from someone that the next upcoming TEAS, I think maybe that might be for her. She said is June the 24th. I'm not sure if that's universal, but she says after the 24th, the next test for her was not until January. If that is still true, I am going to be doing the same thing in the fall. So if you're like, Audrey, I would love to pay you this money, but I do not have the funds right now, start saving up and then come to me for the fall. Okay? Because really, guys, this course really should be like around $397. Based on the amount of time, the energy, the amount of stuff, you're basically getting 24 sessions, right? 24 sessions. Basically, you're charging $6.13 per session if we're looking at the 140. Okay, if you want to get a notebook for yourself, and if you want maybe a discount on additional tutoring, maybe you want something more one-to-one, you want to go with the bundles. Okay, you can get the additional one-to-one, but it's not too much of a discount. But that is what's going on here. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's throwing up money, I'm out. But maybe it's something like if you're one of my OGs, or maybe you're a person that's like, you know what, I really want to help a person that can't afford a session. I want to pay for a session for someone. We actually had people that did that for like 3 people, and those positions are already filled. So it's a possibility. You never know. If someone wants to dedicate one, sponsor a person, go ahead and sponsor a person. So that would be fabulous. Just reach out to me if you're thinking about sponsoring someone. The wording throws me off. What's the wording? What happened? Okay. Can you send me the link for this Zoom? There's something wrong with my audio. Oh, okay. So for this, all of my recordings are on my YouTube. About to get into that. Let me slow panel. Okay. So if you want to get the replay, give me a moment with this one so I can download it. But all my replays of my lives are on my YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and just binge watch as much as you want. Okay. And the best thing about it, I also have copies of my notes. So if you guys haven't heard, there's something called Audrey's Notes. So all of my notes that I've collabed with my TikTok since like February the 2nd, I put them all in a notebook. Okay, so you can actually get my notes. So if you're a type of person that's like, ooh, I like your handwriting, or ooh, I liked how you did that. Oh, I got to remember to do that. So here's the best thing. If you notice, every page has a QR code. With the QR code, it takes you directly to the live that's associated with these notes. So you can follow along. So you actually have me in the palm of your hand. How does it feel with the power? How does it feel? Okay. With word problems. I wish you could be sponsored. I know. There's so many. There's so many. So we just got to see. You never know. I was shocked and surprised when someone actually did it. And a lot of people actually joined up with that. So if there's anyone else out there that wants to sponsor someone, we can do it. Okay, we can definitely do it. All right. So that is, and if you ever want Audrey's Notes, you can order it off of my website. Okay, these are like the books themselves. But if you want, scary. If you want, you can also get digital copies, but I just have the bundles of the first 2 books. And if you want all 3 books, you can get that there as well. And if you want, if you're just like, you know what, I really want to do this, like I wish I had the money to do it, or is there a way is there a payment plan? I do have payment plans, guys. Trust me, I know the struggle is real. So if you want to do it and you're just like, you know what, I wish I could just put some money down, we will figure out a payment plan for you. Okay? So if you don't have the whole 147, and like I do have a payment plan of 2 payments of 75, but I also have another payment plan that I discovered this morning when I was sitting down calculating. All right? Because as long as I get paid and you get the knowledge, everything's good. You know? Who says I have to have it all at once? Don't worry. I will hunt you down. No, just kidding. Oh, don't worry. I'll find you. Because that's me all day, every day. All right? Oh, don't worry. It might take me a few years, but don't worry, baby. I will find you. All right, so enough of that craziness. Let's see if we can get us right back on track. All right, so again, let me bring that over. So we have notebooks. There's 3 notebooks that's there. We also have Audrey's notes, and then we also have the course, or you just want me for tutoring all to yourself, we can do that as well. So if you're currently taking a class and you need assistance, let me help you. If you're about to take your ASVAB and you just want to tweak your thinking a little bit, let me help you. All right. So it's just small, simple things. All right. So let me take a look. Need help with word problems. Okay. Word problem story. You did your GED, but just for 1 point, I didn't pass. Ooh. Okay. So let's see where that 1 point probably went. Okay. Let's see where that 1 point probably went. But again, it's 1 point. It could have been one of the 4-point questions you might have missed, but it's doable. That means you're right there. You're right there on that cusp. Okay? How much is for 1-to-1 tutoring? If anything, message me. Message me. Definitely. Ooh, almost try to kill my highlighter. Okay, have it up and open. All right. Oh, where did my thing go? Here we go. So, again, all right, so I have the private tutoring. We got the math notebooks. We got on demand and also the courses. Again, you can just go to my website, which is the link in my profile. Just go ahead and go there and click on that. Then we have a couple people that I want you to follow. So if you are trying to get into nursing and you need help with your doses calculation, you can go to a Blessed RN. If you also need help with T's, ASVAB, GED, hey, my friend Miss Evelyn, okay, she goes Impact Math 19. She's usually here in the mornings. Sometimes she's in the evenings. She's been, changing it up a bit because I know it's like, the summer hours. So we'll see what happens. But if you need a chemistry tutor, Professor TK, she is awesome. She knows her stuff. And if you want to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide using the abacus, you can definitely meet with my friend Learning with Lynette. She'll be on in the next hour because she'll do her midnight math type shenanigans. Also, if you have a youngster that's pre-K or kindergarten that needs for homeschool assistance, definitely look at my girl Nancy, online elementary tutor. She does the reading, she does the math, and then new to the list, which I gotta get a new piece of paper now. My friend Robert, who is Robert, the AP math guy. I know, I gotta get myself a new piece of paper to change that up. So if you want anything with AP statistics, AP Calc AB, AP Calc BC, okay, any of those advanced math and you need some assistance with it, or maybe you have or you know someone that's going to be taking AP for the first time that needs assistance, reach out and make sure you follow him. Okay, we're working on the videos, we're working on the concepts, but he knows his stuff. Okay, remember, he's the one I keep saying, I got a guy. So I got the guy to you guys on TikTok. So now you can stop asking me, do you know how to take the... No. Do you know the integrals? No. Just go to Robert. All right? Not a problem. Definitely follow. Does anyone tutor for stats? I just told you. Robert. He knows his stuff, man. Because I know a lot of you guys are... And this is another thing. Do not let... these college professors, not professors, but the counselors, when you're like, okay, what's easy? And they say, oh yeah, statistics is easy. They haven't taken that class. Go for the college algebra. Just trust. Okay? All right, I just took the math and the course and got... a 5. All right. Nice. Good job. Excellent. Little celebration. Go ahead. I love that. Will you have word problems? Yes, I'm definitely going to have some word problems in there. All right. Yep. Everyone says it's easy. Nope. Okay. What's on college mathematics? So college... it varies. So you can have intermediate algebra, which is the stuff that you would learn in high school, and they just take it step by step, and they kind of spread it out in like about 3 years. So that's like to prepare you for the next step, which is college algebra. So college algebra is a mixture of algebra 2, a little bit of pre-calculus. They'll talk a little bit of trig, like Pythagorean theorem and sine, cosine, and tangent. But it's a lot of solving. Whereas for me, statistics like t-test and z-scores, and yeah, that's not my thing. But again, you got Robert. Go to Robert. Right? So it's always a nice little mixture. So that's what I have for you for tonight, okay? So again, even if you're thinking like, Audrey, I really want to get into this course, drop me a line, because I will keep this course open until the 21st. I want us to be able to have that first week. After that second week, I'm going to shut it down so we can focus on the people that we need to focus on, because I don't want us to get too far ahead. Then everyone's like, I don't know. So I'd rather like keep things flowing. So I want to kind of keep it open till like the 21st. So if it's you, if you know somebody that is in need of it, maybe just clarification, please send them my way. Okay? Send them my way. I was like, I don't want to sit here and say, I need clients, but I really just want to help people until everyone can get their stuff situated. All right. All right, guys. Well, one, thank you for tapping. Look at all this. 21.5. Okay, once I stop talking, people are like, yeah, let me see if I can find some people. Yes, I know. Janice, you have been like sending me some people. You have been sending me some people. I mean, if I have to do a little bit of finagling, I just rather people tell me that they want it and they are going to come. If you really want it and you know you can come almost pretty religiously. I know there's going to be a couple days you won't be able to, because again, I'm springing this up on you before, summer officially comes in. But if you are serious and you're like, I really think this is going to help me out and I really want to take this test like early September, because this is going to be over at late August, drop me a message. I'm serious. Drop me a message. No shame in your game. Just drop me a message. Okay? So if Roxy, if that's you, not to put your business on out in the streets, but if Roxy, if that's you, please message me. Okay? All right? Let me know. And if anybody else know of people, let's bring them in. We'll figure something out. That's how life is. Okay? As I always keep saying, God will take care of me. Some days, I don't know. Last couple days, I don't know. I think God, put me on hold. Okay? All right, please do. Thank you. All right, guys. All right, that's it. I'm going to go pass out. It's been a trying day. All right, so have a great night. Again, continue to follow my guy Robert. I appreciate him. Trust me, once you see a lot of his stuff, if you're really into that secondary, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, where has he been all my life? All right? All right, so have a lovely evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're actually going to be looking more back at equations, I think I wanted to do, or functions. Wait, tomorrow's Thursday. Whew, my God, the days. Because I know eventually I definitely have to get into composite functions. So I think I might be adding and subtracting and multiplying functions. That's what we're going to be doing. So Thursday, it'll be adding and subtracting. Friday, multiplying, dividing functions. Saturday, composite functions. And then we'll go back to the equation line to kind of get into it. All right, that's what I'm doing. All right, guys, I will see you. Continue to be awesome. All right, please. And rules and definitions too. Yes. And rules and definitions. All right, have a great evening, a great day, and keep being awesome. I love you guys. Take care. Bye now.